Hey guys, it's your girl Jazz. You can call me Jazz the Great, Jazz the Tarot Girl, or just Jazz, whatever you want to call me. Okay, but let's get into what we're going to be talking about today. Today is January 20th, so today is the day that Pluto moves into Aquarius. So we're going to be talking about this and what this means for society, how you can thrive during this transit and use it for your benefit, what is there to learn for us as a collective, and so on and so forth. Okay. So with Pluto moving into Aquarius, in human design terms, Pluto is in gate 60. Okay, so gate 60 is the gate of limitation. And Pluto has been in this gate for some time now, but it was in gate 60 in Capricorn. So now it's moving from Capricorn to Aquarius, but we are still in that gate 60 dealing with that collective limitation. Okay, so the limitation that we had been dealing with was specifically around our money. Okay, when it was in Capricorn, when Pluto was in Capricorn in gate 60, the limitation had to do with money. We got into this hustle mentality. Everybody really just wanted to make the money. Okay, from young people to old people, it was about the money, and it didn't matter what was the creative force behind making the money, as long as money could be made. Okay, so when Pluto was in Capricorn, as a society, we kind of lost touch with our creative nature. Okay, we lost. It was like we had the money, we was chasing the money and the form. Okay, the form is what money can buy. So the material things that money can buy, that's what that was the prize to us as a collective. So now we're like moving into a time where that material form does not really have as much value as what's on the inside. So your talents, your skills, your creative drive, okay? We lost those things when Pluto was in Capricorn because we were chasing the form. So money lost value because if we give money value, okay? So if we're just chasing a piece of paper for it to get us what we feel like we need when it comes to material things, okay? And a lot of the times it's desire. So it's like the luxury of things, okay? The feeling of security to keep up with society, okay? So when we were chasing that form, we lost connection with our own unique skills. We lost connection with our own creative drive. We lost connection with what makes us different. Okay? So society became this everyone seemed to be on the same wave, okay? But this was a very unhealthy way for us to be on because without creativity behind that money, what is the value? Okay, so now we move into the age of Aquarius and moving into the age of, moving into Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is the planet of truth, okay? It is the planet, you can think of Pluto like a grandma. It is going to keep it real with you. And Pluto is going to tell you exactly how it is. It's going to let you know what needs to be known. So now that Pluto is moving into Aquarius, we're going to see these limitations and these truths come out on us as humans, as humanity. It's not so much about the business and the money and the structure of things anymore. Those things will we will see that fall. We will see our financial system begin to fall. We will see systems and structures that were placed begin to fall because as Pluto is in Aquarius now, it is about humanity. So the truth is going to shine on us as people. Okay, so it's about what you're doing with what you have on the inside. And what is going to happen here is that society is going to divide us, okay? There's going to be a group of people that we already see this now. We see people in society that do everything alike, okay? Everything is alike. There is no uniqueness. There is no creative drive. It is about how they feel life is supposed to be structured. We see that. So those group of people are going to look at the other group of people that are not like everyone else as weird, okay? They're oddballs, okay? The outcast. That energy becomes intensified during this time. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Okay, which one do I want to talk about first? Okay, so let's talk about this. How we have lost our, you can say, our magic, okay? What comes from the inside. A lot of people have lost their creative magic. They have lost that magic touch. And what is magic in these terms? Is magic is the energy that comes from you that is not controlled, that is not following a specific guideline or a specific template. It is your unique energy, okay, that you are projecting into the world. That is your magic. So we see more and more people losing their magic, okay, losing their magic and falling in line with other people's magic. Honestly, it's what other people feel is right. What they see is working for other people, they're going to take that and use it for themselves. But it may not be a reflection of who they are on the inside. So we will see humanity, we will see humanity suffering in a way, suffering in this box, okay? A box that places people inside of it. And if people feel if they're not in this box, they're not safe. There's a lack of security if they're not in this box getting the things that they feel pressured to get by society. And especially when it comes to our children or young adults, okay, high school, middle school, okay, the pressure has really intensified on that group. And the reason why is because not only were they pressured to have it all together at a young age, okay, at a young age, 15, 14, 16, they were pressured to have significant amount of money, figuring it out, moving out their parents' house. Okay, and not saying that when you're young, you should not live your life. You should. You should. That is a time for you to explore. That is a time for our young people to explore, to figure out what they like and don't like, to learn about themselves, okay? But it is not a time for them to have it all together, okay? And society has put a lot of pressure on our young people to have it all together. And there was no road or no path to show them how to do that. Our young adults have been placed in, when it comes to schools, they have been placed in areas where they were constricted, where they were limited. Their natural gifts were limited. Their natural view on the world, the natural things that they wanted to try and explore, they were placed in a box. So they were told what they should and should not do when it comes to their unique selves, okay, when it comes to their own creative abilities. So now we see more and more young people, young adults, instead of learning themselves, they will be distracting themselves. Okay, so let's deep dive into that for a moment. Okay, so there are many distractions that are placed in our modern society. It goes beyond social media. Okay, it's what social media influences you to do in the real world. When it comes to, okay, let's say partying, drinking, okay, doing drugs, um, things that really have no value to you and your growth. Okay, and it is not to say that you cannot have fun. That's not what it is. Okay, but there are certain distractions that are meant to further disconnect you from learning who you are. Okay, so the young people in our society today really do not know who they are. They know who they feel they are supposed to be based on the distractions that have been placed in their lives, based on this box that they've been placed in and told you should act like this, you should dress like this, you should look like this. Okay, that's gonna say if you look like this and have these things, you're gonna have a good quality of life. But those things don't measure up to the quality of life. Okay, so they will find themselves chasing the form of money okay, but not really having the creative drive. So then there's depression, there's anxiety, there's anger. Okay, there's in the ones that are not able to achieve certain material standards, these people are going to feel lost. So let's see what else we have here. So what's very important for us as a collective, the young people and the older generation, is that to encourage uniqueness, to encourage more kindness, okay, more, and that's something else that we're going to be losing touch with, is our sense of compassion for other people. Okay, we will see no one feels sorry for anyone else. Someone can watch someone get murdered, and as long as they have a video of it on their phone, they have no regards for what has just happened. Okay, because the minds have become so distracted and so conditioned in this cycle thinking. Okay, and it's difficult. It seems like that this is like something that's really bad, but majority of our society is conditioned. Majority of our society has this limited mindset. Okay, so these are the people that we have to speak to, so they become, so hoping that they can become aware, and then we can break those cycles. But because of the distractions that we have in our world, and that will continue, these distractions will continue. The goal is to distract you from yourself. Okay, and over time it's been working, and it's going to intensify during this time period because of the new technological advancements when it comes to social media and when it comes to our attention spans. Okay, so as these young people specifically are being distracted from themselves and then let out into the world, what do you think is going to happen? They don't know themselves. They don't know their emotional selves. They don't know their triggers. They don't know. All they know is that they're chasing lifestyles. They're chasing um certain structures to continue to disconnect them from themselves. What they feel like they're chasing is freedom. Okay, but true freedom is within yourself. It is not on the outside. You can chase whatever. You can chase however many cars, however much money that you desire. But true freedom comes from the inside. So we have them chasing, but in the midst of chasing, they are running from themselves. So this causes more distraction, running from their own truth, running from their own truth. Okay, so and the more that we allow these distractions in our lives, the more disruption that happens as well. So then we see alcohol abuse, we see drug abuse, we see anger. Okay, we see more violence in society on humanity. These are acts on other humans. So this is violence on other humans. Okay, other humans that, and these could be people that are good citizens, people that have good intentions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. It's humanity is losing its compassion. So during Pluto and Aquarius, we're going to see that there is a disregard for other people because others cannot lack that self-control. They lack that structure. So it's like when they lack structure within themselves, it's gonna be disruption on the outside. And that's why we see a lot of teens in school now acting out on teachers just due to their phones being taken, due to their distractions being tampered with. Okay, they can't sit with themselves. They can't sit with who they are because for so long they ran and suppressed that truth. Society told them. It's not their fault. Society placed them in positions to where they should not face themselves. They should not learn about themselves. They should not embrace their uniqueness, embrace their creativity. But Pluto comes to correct this. Okay, Pluto comes to shine truth on the matter so that way it can be changed. But sometimes before we see change, we see the worst side. Okay, so we'll see that worst side of the disruption happening amongst other human beings. before we see justice, before we see good things come out of it, we will see the worst side of it. Okay. And it got a lot to do with our young community. Okay. And not only just with our young community, another big group that's affected, that will be affected by this transit is going to be religious systems and those type of structures. Okay, religious system, laws, systems that were placed to help us as people, those type of structures will begin to crumble as well. Okay, because we will see how manipulation against humanity within those structures happen. So then there are people that are very, very, very attached and reliant on these systems. There are people that follow certain religions to the T, word for word, and they don't know themselves outside of that religion. There are people that lean on to government assistance or governmental programs, and they don't know how to function outside of those programs. So as these systems and structures begin to fall and show us, I cannot support you, because that's what it's going to be showing. Those systems are going to be showing, I cannot support you during this time. As those systems begin to crumble, what do you think is going to happen? Those people are going to feel very lost. They're going to feel confused. They're going to feel scared. And the solution to any individual during this time that feels lost, feels scared, and don't know what to do is to find their own truth. Your own truth is going to be how you thrive during Pluto in Aquarius. Your truth is going to be how you're able to get what you desire, to live a life of high quality. It is going to be by going inside of your own internal truth. Okay. If you're reliant on if there's a certain job, government program, any type of system outside of yourself that you're reliant on, you're going to have to figure out how could you do this for yourself as well. Okay. How could you do this for yourself? Because our own truth is what is going to set us free from these limitations. But as long as we feel that there is no way out of this trap, then we will continue to be distracted from ourselves, distracted from our truth, and will end up in a position that is very unfavorable and not right for us and our bodies, and where we're trying to go in life. So the main thing is that we cannot lose sight of our value. We cannot lose sight of the original intention that was set. Okay, because that's how you become reliant on something, is that you lose focus, you lose sight on what was the original intention. Okay, so some of us had an intention of creating a better life for our family. Go back to that intention. How can you do this? Okay, how can you make this happen? What is it? What can you bring out of you? Okay. Another big thing is that our mind, the mind, the mind, the mind, the mind, the mind. The mind is a very significant focus during Pluto in Aquarius. And the reason why is because there is a very strong pattern over our collective when it comes to negative thought patterns. And we tend to wake up and have the same thoughts. No matter if you see something positive on social media, maybe you're going to start saying those affirmations. But if you don't continuously remind yourself to implement that, then you're going to go back to the same old patterns. Okay. The same thought patterns are so detrimental to us as a collective, because when we have people thinking in such a limited mindset, it's like, no matter what you say, it is not going to free them. We have to stop living in our minds, okay? One thing to remember is that, and this is why I love human design so much, is that human design teaches us that your mind is not an authority. Your mind is not here to make decisions for you. Okay? Your mind is a computer. Your mind, it holds information. That's what it is. It's a data collector. And it compares data. But your mind is not here to make these decisions for you. It does not understand what is correct for you, for your body. Okay, it only goes based on old patterns. So however you think is based on your patterns in life. So we have to begin to break these patterns, and that is the hardest part. Breaking the patterns, okay? Breaking the way we think, breaking the way we think about money, breaking the way we think about society, breaking the way we think about each other. We have to begin to implement stronger, healthier thought patterns. And that's also why it's important that if social media and technology is going to be on a rise during this time, we have to make sure that we are filling our feed up with positive, uplifting messages. The negativity has to be something that stops in our mind. Your mind is, because it's in a pattern, it's going to trick you to thinking that that negativity is safe for you when it's not. We see negativity when it comes to television shows, all of the violence, all of the condemning each other, fighting each other, speaking badly of each other. Remember that these are other humans. We have forgotten what it's like to be human. We are becoming so desensitized to feelings, to compassion, to caring for each other. And we have to get back to that by taking control, or else you're like a robot. You're just moving along into a position that's and eventually you're going to wake up and you're going to say, "Oh, wow, how did I get here?" It's not correct for you. So there is a need for us to go back and begin to love each other, begin to want to see positive things, beginning to want to see laughter, to care for each other. Caring for each other is going to be something that helps break us free from these limitations that are going to be imposed on us. Already we see it. There are going to be more distractions. You think that you're distracted now. You think that your attention span is short now. Just wait until Pluto in Aquarius is done. Because the whole agenda is to distract you. So that way it's easier to limit you. But if you tap into what's on the inside, if you tap into your own inner truth and let that light shine on the outside, nothing will be able to limit you. You won't be able to be placed in a box. You will shine and thrive during this time. Okay. One thing that we have to know is, before I wrap this up, is that as we're moving through Pluto and Aquarius, is that your magic is important. It is important, no matter what you're trying to manifest in life during this time. Remember that the structure that you need is already within you. Okay? The self-discipline, the creativity, it is within you. If you listen to your body, you are going to meet the right people. You're going to be in the right places. You're going to have the right opportunities. Okay? You have to let what's within you come out, and don't worry so much about fitting into this box. During Pluto and Aquarius, being unique is the key. Being different is the key. If you're doing something, if you're different than what society says you should be doing, you're doing the right thing. Okay? Another thing is that we need structure. So even though we see systems failing, we see these systems failing. That was going to happen. Nothing lasts forever. It's something you can look through history. Look back at history on other systems that were placed and that failed, so something better can come. Our systems are failing because they can no longer support us, so something better can come. Okay? So structure is important, but right now, the best type of structure that we can give to ourselves and to society comes from within. Okay, I feel like that I've covered everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna just touch base on one more thing. Is that the two main energies we're going to see during this Pluto and Aquarius transit is that we're going to see the unstructured. So these are the ones that feel lost. These are the ones that feel like there's no support. And these are the and when you feel like there's no support, when you feel like there's nothing is lasting in your life, these are the people that are going to feel depressed. They're going to have anxiety about the future. These are the people that are going to feel a little bit more sad and closed in and feeling like life is kind of pointless. And they may distract themselves in ways to that, like this could be drinking, distracting them and drinking. This could be workaholics, okay? But for those people that feel unstructured, remember that you can give yourself structure. You don't have to depend or rely on anything in society to give that to you. And for those that feel rigid, okay, these are the people that are very close minded. You cannot tell them that their way is not the correct way. You cannot correct them on what they're doing. You can't say anything to them, because if you do, they're going to get mad. They're going to get defensive. They're going to call you all type of names and all type of, stuff like that. They're going to be angry. They're going to lash out with anger. Okay. When it comes to those type of people, they are more closed-minded and trapped into that box than what they think. So they have to have a more gentle approach. Okay. They're going to have something in their own lives that wakes them up. So no matter what you say to them, no matter how you try to get them to see it your way, they're not going to see it. They're going to hurt you. So when you're dealing with rigid, closed-minded thinking, sometimes you just have to let them go on their path to see where that thinking gets them in order for them to begin to change their mind, because eventually they'll reach a point where they see that their way of thinking is not working. Okay. So that is pretty much it about Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be a very transformational time. Pluto is a planet of transformation, truth. Okay, Pluto comes and it lets you know what needs to be known, but only for good reasons. Okay, when we listen and transform, and when we see our truth and we transform it into something better, then the prosperity that we get from Pluto is unimaginable. So this is not bad times that we're entering. These are needed times that we're entering to help shift humanity on a better wave, okay, a better vibration, so that we can live in harmony with each other, because that is possible. But it does take disruption, and it does take time to shake things up in order for us to see the truth, and in order for us to accept that truth and begin to implement the correct changes. Okay. So I'm Jazz. I'm just here to bring y'all this message, and let me know what you guys think. What are your interpretations of Pluto in Aquarius? And if you have any questions, you can always ask me and I'll get back to you. Bye.